Hello, North Carolina. Our first watcher. Hello, Kay. Oh, we share the same name. Love it. Hi, Karen from Arizona. So nice to have you joining us. Oh my goodness, you guys are already sharing. Yay, that's fantastic. Hi, Candace. Oh, so nice to see you. Welcome to the Stampin' Chat with Kay. We are going to be focused on the Christmas Gleaming stamp set and the Brightly Gleaming Specialty Designer Series paper from the 2019 Holiday Stampin' Up! Catalog today. Hello, Lynn. Oh my goodness. She's getting her hair done, but she wanted to let me know she's going to watch later. That's fantastic. Yes, these videos, fortunately, or maybe even unfortunately, live on forever in Facebook. You know how that goes. Hello, Pam, another North Carolinian. Yay! I just talked to one of my customers. Oh, I think she might be from Missouri, or maybe it's North Carolina. I can't remember right now, but she's been a customer for about a year, and I had actually never talked to her in person. We just usually chit-chat by texting or email, and she got a hold of me yesterday, and we had such a nice conversation. I love talking to my customers. Hello, Lynn. Hi, Pam. Okay, so you know what? I probably need to get rolling here. You guys are amazing. First of all, I got so many little fun cards in the mail that I can't even share them all today because I would have no time left to do a Stampin' Chat. And that's what this is a Stampin' Chat. So we have to actually stamp and chat. We can't just chat the whole time. But I think what I'm going to do is I put all of those wonderful little goodies aside, and I'm going to do just a chat on Friday. So look for me on Friday morning right here on my Stamping to Share page, and I'll share all the little fun things I've gotten either from downline members or customers, or even former customers who are now ordering through demonstrators in my downline. And I love that. I love that when I bring a new person into our Creative Crafters stamping fold, and then they go ahead and whisk off their friends to be their customers, because I encourage that. I want that. And so very, very much fun. So anyway, I have lots to share. I do have a new coffee cup. Look, it says Truly Thankful. And that's one of my former customers who now goes through one of my downline members. She gifted that to me on Saturday. And I will tell you what I'm truly thankful for. I'm number one, truly thankful for my downline, because we put on an incredible event on Saturday called Fall Flair with about 100 people in attendance. And it is something that we do every spring and every fall. The spring one is called Spring Fling, and the fall one is called Fall Flair. And we're always highlighting whatever kind of little mini catalog Stampin' Up! Has out and about at that time. So we usually focus on the holiday during the Fall Flair, and we focus on the spring catalog, the occasions catalog in the spring. And so it's so much fun. But I tell you what, it's a lot of prep work because we are making 24 cards that day. And of course, there's little things that we decorate to give our customers as they walk in the door. So they get a decorated project bag with all of their little solo bags in that they use when they go around to the tables creating the cards. We give them a product gift that's also decorated. We give them a decorated name tag and a little decorated chocolate treat. Now, I could never do this on my own, and so I today am most truly thankful for my downline, because together we do achieve a lot, whereas singly, I wouldn't even be doing it, so thank you so much. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is, let me kind of preface this. So we are going to do Stampin' Chat with Kay today, and then on Friday I will just do a chat with Kay, and I'll share all of the different little cards and goodies I've gotten from different people since I was last on. And then next week, hopefully we will be back to kind of a regular schedule. I'm looking now at doing another Facebook Live a week from today on Tuesday. And so you can always watch for that the day of. If you are in my Happy Stampers group, I always make sure that there is a notice in that group. That's the main reason I started the group, because as you know, a Facebook page may or may not show up on your timeline. And so whenever I let people know on my Facebook page, I do share that post on our group, which is called Happy Stampers Stamping to Share. So if you want to be notified of when Stampin' Chats are coming up, just be a member of Happy Stampers Stamping to Share and you will get notified. You can find the join button on my Stamping to Share Facebook page. All right, so let's go ahead and get rolling. So let me flip the camera down and I'll show you the cards that we're going to make. We're going to do an offset gatefold card today, which is pretty fun. So give me a second here. Okay, so here are the cards. And they're so beautiful. Now, I would show you the brightly gleaming paper pack, but literally we went through almost, I think I'm down to just a few scraps of this designer series paper. I didn't even have enough to put together to show you a little 6x6 flip through that I normally do. Didn't even have enough to show you that. But I think you'll get the idea by looking at these cards. You can see that there's gorgeous copper glimmer on these cards. So one side has the copper glimmer, which matches perfectly with the copper foil elements, and the other side is plain. And so this is what this offset gatefold looks like. It folds together like a gatefold, except it's offset. It's not right down the center. Then we have a beautiful star element, and then when you open it up, you will see there's another little circle here that we created with the stitch shape dies. So you've got the one on the outside, the one on the inside. It says deck the halls with boughs of holly. And then you open it up and you have another sentiment which says, and be jolly this season. So it's a really fantastic card and just so much fun to make and actually quite easy. So I think you're going to be impressed how quickly these cards can go together with just a few simple supplies that are prepped in advance. And you don't even need anything special to create these gorgeous little cutouts here, because you're going to fussy cut those. So super easy. This stamp set, let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this. It's called Christmas Gleaming. And it has, as you can see, some beautiful ornaments. Now, we use those in another card at Fall Flair, which I'll be sharing with you probably a week from today. And so, you know, put this on your calendar, 10 a.m. a week from today. Whatever day that would be, I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me. And then, so here's the stamp set. And then it comes with a set of punches. Did you catch that? A set of punches. So this is the first time. I mean, I've seen Stampin' Up sell the little punches in little 4-packs, but these are big punches. And Stampin' Up is selling them as part of a duo punch pack. And so when you get the bundle, you save 10%. You're getting the stamp set and the set of punches at 10% savings. And it's beautiful. And you know what? If you don't even want the stamp set, I still recommend getting the paper and the punches, because you can even just punch out. In fact, let me show you. You can even punch out this paper. It's beautiful, beautiful paper with these punches and use them on your cards. So let me show you what I'm talking about. On Saturday, when we did our Fall Flair, look, my assistant who volunteers to make the name tags for all of our events, she used those beautiful ornament punches to create this name tag. Isn't it fun? And of course, there's another little cute embellishment on here, which I'll be sharing on the card that I'll be doing next week. And then it's got a little bit of this gorgeous copper trim. And then all of the demonstrators, now the customers who came to our event, they just got the round circle tag. If you were a demonstrator, to show off that you are a demonstrator, we used the nested labels die and did a copper background for our beautiful name tags. Aren't they stunning? If you love these name tags, please put up a heart, because I know Kim would be so pleased to know that everybody loves these name tags. I mean, I just thought they were fantastic. So looking for some hearts. Thank you very, very much. All right, so I'm going to set this aside and show you another thing we did. Here are the gifts that we gave. So when everybody walks in the door, they will get a project bag and a gift bag. So this was our gift bag, which Michelle Rosberg decorated. She is in our group as well. And I don't know, these bags Stampin' Up! Used to sell years ago. Then they went on the clearance rack and I bought like 500 of them. So we have been using these little craft gift bags for a long, long time, but I finally used the very last of them. So again, this I think is from, oh boy, this little sentiment. I think it's called Itty Bitty Christmas. And so it has a whole bunch of little sentiments. So it says very merry, just punched out, and then of course it's a wrap with the brightly gleaming designer series paper, and then on the inside we have the brightly gleaming, or what you call it, the copper foil elements that were part of this gift, and then we did a half pack of the holiday rhinestone basic jewels. So they got that as a little gift from us when they walked in the door picking up their bag. And I'm sure you want to see what the bag looks like, so I'm going to share the bags. So they looked like this. So they also were very easy to decorate, and Michelle also took on that big project of decorating all these bags for us. So what it is we just took this wonderful ribbon with the script on. So it's a copper script on very vanilla ribbon. It's called, I've got one right here. It's called the Very Vanilla Copper Ribbon. I don't know, there's got to be a different name for it. Oh yeah, Classic Weave Ribbon. So it looks like this. We just made a 4x6 inch panel of that paper, and then we put the ribbon at the top, just wrapped it around and used a little bit of Scotch tape on the back to hold it down. And then we just did our punch outs from the copper foil. Isn't it fantastic? Oh my gosh, I just love it. So let me show you some of the papers so you'll get an idea of how beautiful this paper pack is. I loved the Night of Navy papers. They were my favorites for sure. And so it just looks like stars. In fact, I had one of these cards kind of off in the distance, and as I was working on some projects last week, I would look up and I would see this on my bulletin board, and the stars were just gleaming on this paper. And it was just so pretty, and I kept thinking, oh my gosh. Well, once you know the paper's on back order, you can still order it though, and it will arrive at your house probably in early November. I think it comes back into our system like the 28th of October, something like that. So if you don't have it yet, you may want to consider just getting on the list of people who are waiting to get it, because I think it's going to sell out again as soon as they get it back in, because look how beautiful it is. So again, you're seeing some of the craft paper bags that we decorated for our event. All right, so that's where all the projects were in. Then we had one last sweet little gift that we gave to our customers at this event, and it was a chocolate treat holder, and two of my downline members put these together. And I have to say that when one of my customers, and Sue, you know who you are, the second she saw this, she goes, oh, I'm putting that on my order. So what we used was, of course, the paper, and then we used the copper foil, and then we used the Oh What Yum, which is part of that Itty Bitty Christmas greeting set. And then we also used our mini curvy keepsake box, which looks like this. And what's really cool about it is if you need to make a lot of treats in a short period of time, you can make these up so fast. So what you do is you just take your 6x6 pieces of paper and run them through, and it's all connected together. So let me just show you what's in this treat holder and how simple this is to put together. I'm going to open it up for you. So we're going to take away, again, it's trimmed up with a little bit of that copper trim that Stampin' Up! Carries. And it's all had little different tags. So you can see there's a star, an oval, a teardrop, a heart, and a square. And you can run those through on your die cutting machine all at one time and have 5 tags immediately. And then what we did is we also ran through, there's 2 of these little tiny tags. And so I don't know, what shape is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little 6-sided tag. So we ran through those with Very Vanilla paper, and we were able to get 4, because we stacked the Very Vanilla, and we were able to get 4 of those little punch outs at one time through our die cutting machine. And then we just stamped them and added a little mini dimensional to the back and put them on the tag. And then we just tied them onto our little cutout. And so what this looks like, so easy, you guys. And you can open them up without destroying the packaging. Oh, that's just such a gift because nobody wants to eat the chocolates if they think they're going to destroy the packaging. You know what I mean? And so here we are. We're opening it up and we're not destroying the packaging. So you can access your little candies just like this without destroying your packaging. In fact, you can even put it right back together if you want to and set it all together again. So how this all goes together is once you have your little 6x6 cutout, you can see it looks like this. And then an easy way just to get your paper to curve is just take a bone folder, give it a little curve. That will help you put this all together. And then you just bend back these little holders and you put those together first, and then you just slide that little slot in there and it's just all done. It's all done that fast. Is that amazing? So amazing. And there is a coordinating stamp set that goes with it. We did not use it for this particular project, but you could get that if you wanted to. And again, this is called the Mini Curvy Keepsake Box Dies. And so I'll set this all aside. And another sip of my coffee here. And let's open up the catalog to the Brightly Gleaming Suite. You'll find it on page 30 and 31. And then of course, oh, here we go. Here's our paper. I should cut that out and put it on a little panel because like I said, I'm down to scraps. I don't even have enough to put together a 6x6 pack to show you guys all what it looks like. All right, so we are ready to get rolling. Let's go ahead and start making these cards. So I'm going to make 2 cards because we're going to do 2 giveaways on Thursday morning. So I will draw for that name on Thursday and I'll give away a couple of cards. So the first thing you're going to need is Mossy Meadow paper, and I have them both cut and scored exactly the same way. It is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 1.5 and 5 3/4 because remember we're doing an offset gatefold. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to take our bone folder and we'll just fold along these score lines here. And then we're going to do the other side. And let me go ahead and do this next one too, because as I mentioned, we're going to do 2 cards today, so you guys will just see how quickly and easily these go together, and then I'll be all prepared for the drawing on Thursday, which you can get in again by sharing this video or making a comment, letting me know where you're watching from, etc. So on this gatefold card, you want to make sure that your left side is the smaller panel and your right side will be the larger panel. So let's go ahead and put our panels on. So let me grab those. The smaller panel that we're going to set on the left-hand side is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And again, the gorgeous brightly gleaming paper. And we're actually not going to use the gleaming side. We're going to flip it over and use the other side because on this other side of the panel, we're going to have the gleaming side. So let me go ahead and just add a little multi-purpose liquid glue to the back. And we will center this on to this narrower side on our offset gatefold card. So give that a press, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on this other card. Maybe I have a chance here to look at your comments. Oh, good. You guys are loving it. Oh, I'm so glad I showed you everything we did at Fall Flare. I knew you guys would be interested in that. And that's also why we're going to just do a straight chat with Kay on Friday morning at 10 o'clock because I just don't have time to show you everything that I wanted to show you today. So we'll do that a little bit more on Friday. All right, so we've got that panel down. Now we're going to set down the second panel over here on the right. So let me grab those panels, and they're 2.5 by 5 1/4. All right, so we're going to just glue those down. That's all there is to it. So we're going to make sure we're using the correct panel that goes with the correct side. So as you can see, this is the paper we're using on this right side, and it's this beautiful peacock color, which is just beautiful. It's one of our in colors from Stampin' Up, and it's part of this paper pack. So we're going to take this put it right over here on top of our Mossy Meadow card base, which looks beautiful with all of these papers. And we're going to do the same thing on this other panel. Again, just a little quick rectangle of glue following the edges of your panel, and then you can just set that in. And I just love, love, love it. I think it is so beautiful. All right, here we go. So we've got that much done on our cards. The next thing that we're going to do is, oh shoot, what did I do with it? Hold on, I have to go across the room and grab something because I forgot to bring it to the table. I need to show you the stitched shape dies that we're using and which ones we're using. So these are the stitched shape dies from Stampin' Up, and here's the larger one, and that's the one we're going to use for our outer panel. And then for the inner little circular panel, we are going to use the next size down. So let me show you what those look like. Wherever they went, they were supposed to be in my packet, but I'm not seeing them now. Well, what the hoo-hey, as my daughters always say. Where did they go? All right, I must have too much stuff on my desk, which is not terribly unusual. Hold on. Well, I threw an extra packet up here, so I do have them. I just don't have them handy. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're ready. Okay, so here is the inner panel, and we're going to stamp that first. And we're going to use Mossy Meadow ink because that will coordinate with the card base that we're using. And we are going to stamp that with, I better double check, I think it's Deck the Halls, yes. So we're going to do the Deck the Halls sentiment. And what I love about stamping on circles is you can't make them crooked because it's a circle. So you can always just move this circle. There we go. So we've got both of those stamped. And then we're just going to set those aside for a minute. And we're going to prep the bigger stitch shape circles here. We're going to prep those with our little stars. So here we have the brightly gleaming stars. And how we're going to do that is we're going to grab a glue dot, and we're just putting one glue dot in the very center. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to pull this glue dot off, and we're just putting that in the very center of the star, and then we're centering that star over the top of this larger stitch shape circle. Just give that a press, and you're going to do the exact same thing to the other one. Now some of you might be looking at this and thinking, well, that's a little flimsy. How is that going to stay together? Don't you worry, because we're going to be putting something else over the top of this, which is going to help hold this all in place. But for now, we just want it kind of where it's going to be, right in the middle. There it is. Okay, so now the next thing that we can do is we can grab our, there's some more things to grab here. We're going to do our inside panels. So let me set this aside for another second. So for our inside panels, we need some strips of Designer Series paper. So I just have 1/2 inch strips, and we're going to be putting these along the bottom. So again, it's just easiest to use glue. So I'm going to add a little strip of glue to the bottom of this 4 by 5 1/4 inch inside panel. So we'll just set this in here. And yes, I know my 1/2 inch strips are a little long, but I wanted them that way so that I could just trim even with the edge. We're going to do the same thing for this side. And you could use either side. If you'd like to do this side, that would work great too. I'm just so in love with that copper foil that's on this paper that I have to show off that little gleaming side. All right, then grab your scissors, and you're just going to trim even with the edge. And we'll get these out of the way. And there we have our inside panel. So now what we need to do is a little stamping on this. And so just in case I mess it up, I'm gonna set this right here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna put all of our things together here since we've got it handy. So what you want to do first is you're going to put this star like this. Okay, so that's gonna go right here. Oh, you guys, shoot, you know what I forgot to do? Darn it. Well, you know what? We'll just make do. I meant to do a wrap on the bottom of my panels, and I got so excited about this paper, I completely forgot about the wrap. But we can still kind of get that ready. So here we have our Merry Christmas ribbon that I was telling you about. So let's go ahead and just cut a couple of these scripty pieces off, because that's what we're going to use, is the scripty pieces. And no, naturally my ribbon scissors is on the other side of the room, so I'm going to have to get up and get that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little snail to the back of this ribbon. Oh, I think I can still, you know what? I think I can still do this. I've got a scrap here that's 2.5 inches wide. You know what? I can do this. Hold on. Okay, you guys are seeing real life in action here, because how many of us get so excited when we're crafting that we forget to do stuff like this? I have to run and get my ribbon scissors, so that's where I went. So I have my ribbon scissors now. So what I'm going to do, since this is 2.5 inches wide, I'm going to flip this over and trim this even with the edge so we can use this ribbon. Because I forgot to wrap it. Normally I would have wrapped it and life would have went very smoothly, but how often is that real life? Not that often. All right, so there we go. We've got one ready. Now let's get the other one ready, which I already put glue on it, so I got to cut a different one. All right, hold on, you guys. Sorry. I'm usually, well, okay. I was going to say I'm usually a little more organized, but probably not. So again, we're just going to trim this even, trim this side even. All right, now we're going to set this into our card where we should have wrapped it. We're just going to, or what, another thing that I do is I just put the snail on. Of course, I do this all before I actually have the panel down. I put the snail on and then I just put it on and trim it even with the edge, but this will work. So, because our sentiment is on a ribbon, so it's really cool. There you go. There's one, and let's do the other one. Because I was looking at that when I was trying to put the star on, and I was thinking to myself, well, why does this look different? Well, there's an obvious reason why it was looking different, because it was different. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to take our snail. We're going to set this right here and flip it over, because you don't want your snail on this side. You want to keep your snail over here to the right. Otherwise, you're going to glue your entire card together, and that would not be good. So we're going to set this in about like this, and we're going to do the same thing on this other card. So let me grab, it's over here. Let me grab that. Yeah. So can you imagine having 100 people in a room and everybody's trying to do their cards? I was talking to people on Saturday. I'm not the only one that forgets to do ribbon wraps. There were other people that did too. So it's not just yours truly. We all forget that at times. All right. So now we're making some progress on these cards. So they look like this so far. Now we want to add in this cute little inner sentiment on the left-hand side as we open it up. And so that's going to go right here, and we're not going to get it into, we're just going to put this in right there. And again, we have to remember not to put glue on the wrong part, or we're going to end up gluing our card together. And you know what? On Saturday, nobody glued their card together, so that was pretty special. All right, so we'll set this in here, and then we'll do the same thing on this one with our other panel here. And set that in. Looks so good. All right, so now we can go ahead, add our panels. And again, I just do that with a little bit of snail up here at the top. And then we'll stamp our inside sentiment, which again, we're going to use the Mossy Meadow ink. And I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to keep it so that when you close the card, you don't see the sentiment over on this side. It's going to be hiding behind the Deck the Halls sentiment. So I'm just going to ink up and be jolly this season. We're going to stamp this over here on the left. And there it is. So cute. Okay, let's do the other one. We'll set this in and we'll do our stamping. Now, if you're a little worried about stamping it and you know, making a mistake, you don't actually have to glue it in. I've just stamped so many cards and I've realized that, you know what, if it's a little crooked, no big deal. If there's a little smear, it just shows that it's handmade. There we go. But this one worked out great. All right, so now let me show you the original card. We're almost done. We just have to do the holly. So let me show you what we want to do with that. So we're going to need some scraps of paper. We've got a scrap of Mossy Meadow and a scrap of Very Vanilla. And because I did this in advance, I pre-stamped it. And I used Early Espresso ink. So this is stamped with Early Espresso, and then I fussy cut. So I fussy cut the holly and I fussy cut the berries from the Very Vanilla, and I fussy cut in advance. So let me show you what that looks like. Here it is. And what's nice about fussy cutting the holly, you don't have to worry about these little berries down here. You don't have to fussy cut those because you're layering your white berry over the top. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like under there. So to put this in, I'm just going to add a drop of the glue right there on that bigger berry. And then we can just lay these right over the top and just wiggle that into place. And then we'll flip them over. See how I just straight across cut on the Mossy Meadow side, because you don't need to worry about it. Nobody sees it. So then you can just take some dimensionals and we're going to pop these up like this. So we're going to add 3 dimensionals, get it nice and solid and sturdy. And then once we have this on our card is complete. Oh, one of my wonderful customers, Teresa, just joined us from Texas. Hi, Teresa. Good to see you. And Jean is telling me she loves the layout. Philomena's saying she loves the fold. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and grab that card. And we're going to take our berries and we're just going to set them in so that our holly is kind of going off between the 2 star pieces here and between the 2 star pieces there. We're setting it right over the top, giving it a press, and now that star was a little wiggly before because we just had it attached with 1 glue dot in the center. Well, that is not the case anymore because we've added the dimensionals to the holly, and that really holds the star in place. So there's 1 card completed. And let me go ahead and do this next one. Here is the other. Again, just set it in about like that. And we are done. We have some beautiful, beautiful cards now for Christmas. Now, of course, I'm going to tell you that you want to make sure you do these wraps before you put those panels down. I wish I would have remembered that, but oh well, then you guys can see an alternative way of doing those wraps or that Merry Christmas sentiment. So what am I giving away? Well, of course, I'm going to give away a couple yards of the Merry Christmas sentiment ribbon. So that will be what our winners get Oh no, I goofed up. How about I give away an extra thing? So I will give away a couple of yards of this ribbon, and you are also going to get a full pack of the Brightly Gleaming. So, you know, I have to do something a little extra because you guys have not seen me on a Facebook Live in a couple of weeks. I've been so busy prepping, and I'm kind of out of the habit here. So hopefully by next week I'll be more together, and we'll have a little bit better of a video without quite so many goof ups. But here we go. These are a bunch of the cards that we made. I truly appreciate you. I encourage you that if you are thinking about becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, to check it out, because right before the holidays is a great time to join. And everybody's crafting in the fall, so it's so much fun to share this with your friends. And if you're one of my customers and planning on placing an order, please check out my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com and use the host code for some paper perks. And if your order's over $75, you will get some beautiful ribbon that looks like this that I'll mail out to you in November. And this ribbon is lovely. I've used it recently on a couple of rustic retreat cards that look like this, the buckle cards that I showed right before I started getting heavy into fall flare prep. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I truly appreciate you. Have a super great couple of days here, and we'll see you on Friday for just a chat with